your environment is ruining your manhood. I'm moving right now. As you can see, I'm driving 20 hours to go from Pennsylvania to Florida. And I'm doing that, why? Because my environment in Pennsylvania is holding me back from the man that I want to be and the man that I should be. And even before I was in Pennsylvania, my environment was even worse. And therefore I was even more of a low test, skinny fat soy boy. And that's the thing. You guys may not be seeing this, but your environment is a big determining factor of the man that you are. When I was in high school, I was at home, I was comfortable. I was hanging around soy boy friends, AKA a bad environment, and they made me a soy boy. I would wake up in the morning, I would have brain fog, I would look right at my phone, check my texts from all my fake ass friends, scroll on TikTok and Insta for 5 minutes, take a warm shower, which would fry my dopamine, and listen to music, which would fry my dopamine even more and give me brain fog, make me uninterested in all the schooling, all the things that actually mattered. And it just made me a loser. And I was just obsessed with Netflix, with drinking, with alcohol, because when you do those things over and over, it makes the things that actually matter seem boring and mundane. Like the dopamine that I would get from watching Netflix or drinking with my boys was way more than hitting the gym. And that's the thing. When you waste your dopamine on easy ass things that are useless, you have no drive, you'll have no motivation, and you'll be a lazy fat ass. And that's exactly how I was. My friends and my environment, what I was surrounded by, the weed, the alcohol, the pleasure, it turned me into a soy boy, and I was going down the wrong path for the longest time. And the thing that got me off of that trajectory was a wake-up call. So a lot of you guys have had wake-up calls. If you're into fitness now, something happened that made you want to hit the gym. A girlfriend left you because you were fat and ugly and you were low test. You had a health problem. Someone called you fat and made fun of you. You had a heart attack. Your grandfather or your dad had a heart attack, and it made you realize that you don't want to end up like that. So you started actually taking your health seriously. But for me, my wake-up call was getting booked by the cops for smoking weed. I was hiding it, I was putting it off, I wasn't honest with myself. And then once it got exposed to everyone, my family, people in my town knew, my friends knew that I was a fucking, weed smoking loser. That was the wake-up call for me, being like, I need to make a change. I need to dial in. I need to be a fucking man, and I can't waste my time being a fucking soy boy. And that's the thing. God is always watching you, and he will give you a wake-up call if you don't actually take action. I knew that I was being low test. I knew that I was being mediocre, that I wasn't making the most of my life. But I put it off anyway because my life wasn't that bad. You guys may not be shredded or jacked or successful, but if you're not homeless or dying, your life's not that bad. When you get fat, you don't get fat overnight. You slowly, eat more and more processed food. You slack off in the gym over time, and then you slowly get fatter and fatter. And then one day you wake up and something fucking bad happens because you got fat. A health problem, a relationship problem. And then you have the wake-up call, and then you log in. But if you act like God is always watching, you won't need to have a wake-up call. It's better to prevent something bad from happening than waiting and dealing with it after it happens. Like, you could get fat and then your wife cheats on you and get a divorce because you were fat and you didn't respect yourself, she doesn't respect you because you're fat. Or you could prevent that from happening through going to the gym sooner, getting jacked sooner. But because nothing bad's happening now, you put it off and then something bad happens. Like, guys who get heart attacks don't see it coming. It just happens one day and they're like, fuck. Like, if someone knew what they were getting a heart attack tomorrow, they would fucking not drink that alcohol. They would not eat that bullshit. They would stop it instantly. But that's the thing. Most problems don't happen overnight, and when they eventually build up to the point where it's going to happen, it happens suddenly, you're not ready for it. And that's when the wake-up calls happen. But going back to changing your environment, if you're around guys who aren't good influences, what do you think is going to happen to you? You are the sum of your 5 closest friends. So who are you taking advice from? Who are you around? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Because they're probably making you worse if you're not the man you want to be. In college and high school, I was around weed smokers, partiers, frat guys. And I was a frat guy. I was a partier. My life was shit. I would chase after girls. I would chase after dopamine. I slacked in school. I slacked in work. My grades were shitty because I was around people who were doing the same exact shit. Once I made friends with gym bros, guys who actually focused on school, actually focused on making money, guys who were actually respected, I became one of them. And that's how it fucking works. But if you're by yourself, you're gonna have to take the road less traveled sometimes. It's gonna be hard. That's the thing. If you've made a bunch of friends who are all bums, it's hard to leave that friend group, leave them behind, because it's uncomfortable. You're gonna have to do it yourself, but it is so fucking worth it. And a lot of you guys may be like, oh, how do I find good friends? You have to be someone worth being friends with. If you're a total bum, successful, great men are not gonna wanna be friends with you. So that's why you have to build yourself up on your own to attract friends who will actually make you better, and then in turn, you will make them better. But going back to your environment, once again, who do you even take advice from? Who do you listen to? Take advice from people that you actually want to fucking be like. You know, me listening to my parents, they're great, you know, God-fearing, nice people, but at the same time, I don't want to be a 9-to-5 worker like my dad. So why would I listen to him when it comes to fitness? You know, when I first started making my videos, my account, all this shit, you know, he's like, oh, just get your job, do this, do that. And I just did this on the side until I started making money and fucking showing him. Then he fucking believed me. That's the thing with fitness. You know, your fat mom, your fat dad, they're gonna be like, red meat and eggs are bad. You know, you're eating too much cholesterol, everything in moderation. Bro, why would you want to listen to people who are fat when it comes to fitness? It makes no fucking sense. Like, why would you take financial advice from a broke person? You cannot be listening to people who are not respected. And the thing is, you may respect your friends or your family who are average people, but successful people are not going to respect them. So only listen to people you actually want to be like, and then you will slowly become like them. But if you give into your environment, oh, the temptations, the bad friends, what the fuck you think is going to happen? And they say out of sight, out of mind. So if you're in a house with bullshit snacks, bullshit ice cream, alcohol, or you're with friends that go to the bars, it's going to be way harder to resist that temptation compared to if you just cut them out of your life. So if you cut out the vices, cut out the temptations, your life will become so much easier. But also, it's so easy to get complacent from the environment you're in. If you have a nice job where you're making good money, you know, you're not homeless, you're not hustling that hard, it's like you're going through the motions, it's easy to get complacent. If you have a wife and you're fat and you're out of shape and you're unhealthy, but she still loves you anyway, she's still with you for some reason, it's easy to get complacent. If you're fat right now and you don't have the best physique possible, you know, but you don't have any crazy health problems, you're not dying, it's easy to get complacent. But the thing is, you have to act like God's always watching you, because he always is. Are you actually respecting your temple? Are you making the most of the body that you have? Or are you half-assing? Are you trashing your temple? I mean, I don't know if you guys know that you're made in the image of God, but do you think, you know, if he gave you a free body, a free life of 80 years where you get to do whatever the fuck you want, do you think he wants you to half-ass, to be a fat ass? No. And no one's perfect, but why not try to be as perfect as you can? I try to be as perfect as I can. I'm not perfect. I mess up. I make mistakes. You know, I have cheat meals. You know, I get angry. I sin. But you can't let that shit happen over and over and over again. And the thing is, like, especially if you know you're fat or you know you're slipping up and you're doing it consciously, that's the worst thing. You know, in Catholicism or Christianity, they say mortal sins are things that you know are wrong, but you choose to do them anyway. And then there's the lesser sins where you accidentally do it or you didn't mean to do it. But if you're fat right now, you are sinning. You are committing the sin of gluttony. You are not respecting your temple, and you fucking know it, but you're too pussy or too low test to actually take action and change it. Because there's no fire under your ass. Oh, I'll still go to heaven. I can still go to church. I can still pray. It's not that bad. You're committing a moral sin. And I'm not perfect. I'm not some preacher talking down on you. I'm just saying I've been on that side where I was half-assing. I'd still go to church, but I would smoke weed. I would hook up with girls. I would drink. I would watch Netflix. I would gossip. I would do all these terrible things, but I would still go to church. And I thought my life was okay. But the more you get closer to God, the more you cut out the vices, the better your life will be. 1,000%. I'm an example. I'm not some crazy, smart guy. I'm just an average guy. But when you lay out goals, you take action, you actually genuinely try your fucking hardest, you can get jacked, you can become successful, you can do what you want. But if you're in a shitty ass environment, that's gonna be holding you back, and that's gonna blind you from seeing your problems. Like, if you're in a fat ass family and you're fat, your fat friends and family are gonna be like, oh, it's okay to be fat because we're fat too. It's not gonna be seen as a problem. But if you're around a jacked, successful man who's high test, who's respected, who has shit going for him, he's gonna look at you and fucking tell you the truth. So if you're around friends and family that won't even tell you the fucking truth, cut them out. Real friends are people that are fucking honest with you, that will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. You know how girls have so many fake friends? There's always girl drama. Guys are more honest with each other. Girls will always tell each other what they want to hear. Oh, you look so pretty today, even though in their head, they think your dress is ugly. They think you're ugly. They think you're fat. And it's like the girls will tell their fat friends, oh my God, you're so pretty. You look so fucking good, when they are just lying to just tell them what they want to hear, which does fucking nothing. If you're around people that are just telling you what you want to hear, you're never going to excel. You're never going to get better. And it's not actually good. It's like the same thing as depression. You could blame depression for your failures, for how bad your life is. People say, my life is shit because of depression. No, you're depressed because your life is shit. That should be a sign that you need to improve your life. There's always a root cause of depression. It's not some shit in your brain. It's that your environment and your life and the actions you've made have led you to a shitty spot. So fix the fucking problems. And for me, fixing my health and optimizing my health in my environment has changed my life for the better. Once I got jacked, once I got healthy, once my test is up, once my hormones are in shape, I've been able to make the right decisions. Work feels good. Short-term dopamine does not feel good. Sitting, I know, is a waste of time and it's not worth it to me. It's not fulfilling. Working hard and helping others is fulfilling. Being a good role model is fulfilling. Making money and working hard, as I said, is fulfilling. But when you're surrounded by bums, by mediocre people, when you listen to mediocre people and they're telling you it's okay, they're telling you what you want to hear, it's so easy to be mediocre, to settle for less. And that's why you have to make your environment as good as possible. Work on yourself till you attract the friends that you need, not the friends you want. Friends that will actually push you to be better. Friends that don't just go to the bars, that don't just party. Because at the end of the day, if your friends don't make you better, why would you even spend time with them? Every relationship has a mutual, agreement where you benefit from each other. In marriage, the woman cooks and cleans usually, the man pays the bills, and then they have kids together because they both are naturally hardwired to want to have kids. You both gain something out of that. But a lot of you guys listen to people or surround yourself with people that you don't do anything. You talk about sports betting, doesn't do shit. You talk about sports, you talk about gambling, doesn't do anything. You waste your time on this earth talking about and doing pure bullshit activities, and then you wonder why you feel like you're not fulfilled. You wonder why you feel like you're not the man you should be. But I know it's crazy and it may seem weird, but starting with the gym will open doors for you that you may not have ever thought about or may not have ever seen. Because for me, I never would have thought I would have been this. Like back 5 years ago when I wasn't in the gym, I was 160 pounds, 6'5", a little shrimp. Now I'm 200 plus pounds. I never would have thought I would be in this spot. But because I started working on myself through the gym, building discipline, building consistency, seeing those results, getting motivated, and continuing the upward spiral of self-improvement, now other doors are open. I can help others learn this. Even if I wasn't a fitness coach, I could start my own business because I want to work hard and I'm disciplined. I'm not gonna slip up and waste time, which would increase my chances of actually being successful. That's the thing. So if you're not jacked, if you're not in shape, start with the gym, start with dieting, and I guarantee your life will get so much fucking better. I promise. But the first way to start that journey is to make your environment as optimal as possible. So if you're tired of being stuck, you're tired of having no motivation and not being able to take it to the next level, feel free to book a call with me in the link in the description of this video, and I guarantee I can help get you jacked, get you high test, get you confident, get your mindset right. But you have to be willing to make the change, to put in the effort. But I guarantee I can help get you right. So if you feel like you need help, feel free to book a call and let me know what you guys thought of this video.